In the late 1920s, Eben Byers was the toast of Pittsburgh and New York, a national champion golfer, a wealthy industrialist, and a legendary socialite. He lived a life most of us could only dream of, but after a minor arm injury, he was prescribed a miracle health tonic, and within 5 years, he would become the face of an unbelievable medical scandal. This is the story of the sunshine in a bottle that quite literally dissolved a millionaire. I'm Steve, he's Neil, and this is
Honourable Mentions.
Honourable Mentions.
Hello, listener. How are you today? I hope you're well. No one's dissolved you in a bottle of sunshine. Speaking of sunshine, shall we see if he's there, the man that brightens anybody's day? Hello, Neil.
Well, hello there, Stevie.
How are you today, please?
I'm bright, chirpy and chucker.
Chirpy and chucker?
Yep. I've just had some, you said about a bottle of sunshine, I've just had a bottle of Sunny Delight, so I'm bouncing off the walls.
Can you still get Sunny Delight?
Well, that's what I got bought from someone down the street. Looks a bit like Lucasade and it's a bit warm, but it's all right.
My son is now 28 years old, coincidentally the same age as yours, or your eldest. And he, when he was younger, if you gave him some cheesy Wotsits and a glass of Sunny Delight, it was like winding him up with a rocket up his ass. He was unstoppable. You couldn't stop him.
Well, I bought it from a bloke just down the street there. It was a bit warm. It looked a bit like Lucasade, but...
Did it? It was a bit like watered down Sunny Delight.
Yeah, it's all right. Bit vinegary, but yeah. Still drank it. And he charged me £1.
Do you have to pull any hairs out from between your teeth when you finish?
Yeah, there was a few in there.
I think I know, but we'll talk about that later on, Neil.
Okay. Thanks.
Ebenezer McBurney Byers. Does it ring a bell? Ebenezer McBurney Byers?
They did something about him. There's a film about him. One of the Mipples did it. Someone wrote a story about it. The Muppets. There's a story about him. Christmas time.
Oh, the Christmas Carol?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Thought so.
Ebenezer McBurney Byers was born in Pittsburgh. That's the United States of America.
Oh, that's not what I was thinking of then. He was born in London.
Oh, you're Ebenezer?
Yeah.
No, this is a different one, I suppose, then, isn't it?
Okay, yes, then, yeah. Okay.
He was born on April the 12th, 1880.
Ooh,
to
nice.
Alexander McBurney Byers and Martha Fleming Byers.
Bernie Byers. How come she had Fleming Byers and he was McBurney Flyers? Where it is?
Ezer Byers is Ebenezer Byers.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one? Ezer Byers is
yes.
Ebenezer McBurney Byers.
Yes.
That one. Naughty, very naughty.
Yes,
Do you remember that?
Yes,
one of the best dance songs of the 90s.
Yes.
Got any Veras? He was the fourth of 5 siblings,
right,
with the eldest being Alexander McBurney Byers Jr.
That's about right for Americans.
Then Maud.
Senior?
No, just Maud.
Oh, okay.
Then Dallas Cannon Byers.
Yes, there's a name.
Then Ebenezer. And then finally, John.
Got bored at the end of it, making names of us, so they just call him John.
We'll start with Alexander Jr.
Go after Dallas Cowboys, or he was, and then just call him John.
We'll spice some things up with Dallas and Ebenezer, and then John.
Yeah, that'll do. Stop spitting kids out, love.
Unless, Neil.
Yeah?
What if his first name was actually Elton?
He
just used John. He could have been Elton John Byers.
He could have been John Thomas.
Look into that, please. When we've done, if you could Google, that would be much appreciated.
I'll have a look at that.
His father, Alexander McBurney Byers Sr., was born on the 6th of September, 1827 in Mercer County, Pennsylvania.
27? He was born 1880? Dirty pig. He's 53.
He could have been a vampire if he was born in Pennsylvania.
Could have had Viagra. Anything else?
He was one of 10 children born to Daniel Cannon Byers. So this is where the Cannon middle name of Dallas comes in.
Yeah.
and Maria, whose maiden name was McBurney.
Maria McBurney.
So that was her maiden name before she married and became a Byers. So that's why they've all got the McBurneys in their middle names and shiz, isn't it?
Okay. Right.
It's all starting to make sense now, isn't it, Neil?
Yeah, kind of.
At a young age, Alexander Sr. found work with the Henry Clay Furnace Company.
Okay.
An organisation which, as you'll know, Neil... Hello, Neil!
Hello.
With your My First Book of 19th Century Metallurgical Processes in the Eastern United States of America.
Yeah, I've got both issues of that.
Both issues?
Yeah.
How you getting on?
Yeah, I've read them both back to front.
They, of course, as you'll know, operated one of the oldest blast furnaces in all of Pennsylvania.
Yes, they did, yes. Mm.
See, I told you, didn't I, when you opened that book on your birthday, that it would come in handy. Didn't I say that?
You did say that, yes. When I opened it, I went, all right, okay.
You threw it across the room and stuck out your bottom lip when you banned me from your party.
Yeah.
Didn't I say that?
Cake home in a napkin, did you? Didn't
No,
let
you wouldn't let me because I gave you that book.
Yeah.
And there we are. But, Neil, as well as your book proving very useful, old Alex Sr., by the age of 16, was a superintendent, and by his late 60s, he had his own business valued around $500,000.
Wow.
Which
That's
would
nice,
be the equivalent of...
$2.5 million.
Higher.
2,600,000.
Much higher.
25 million.
Lower. Say 17 million.
No.
Say it.
No, don't want to now.
Say 17 million.
I'm not going to.
Say 16,999,999.
Let me think about that. No.
The answer is 17 million.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
It's worth $17 million in today's dollars and cents.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Plus all his investments and seats on other company boards that he had. So to put it bluntly, Neil, the Byers were not short of a bob or two, were they?
No.
Eben was educated at the elite St. Paul's boarding school near Concord.
The aeroplane?
Must have been. New Hampshire.
I think.
Yeah, just for a little while.
Yeah.
And then at Yale, where he learned to make keys.
And locks.
And he was also renowned for his athletic prowess. And from where he graduated in 1901.
So he was 21.
Just gone 7 o'clock there. That year, he became connected with the Girard Arn Company.
Right.
Girard spelt Girard, G-I-R-A-R-D, but pronounced Girard.
And what did they produce?
I have learnt. Well, they're the Girard Arn Company, so I'm guessing they're into plastics.
Yeah, probably.
Or ironware. Can't quite decide which one I'm doing. Or iron brew, yes. I don't know whether to do iron brew anywhere else in the world. I like
iron brew. If anybody's out there wants to send me a tin of iron brew, I'm happy to consume it. Better than that drink I had this morning.
Girard was one of his father's businesses, and Eben was made president and director there after 1904. So it was only 3 minutes after he left school. He also became associated with the Eben Byers Company in 1901, becoming president in 1909 after the death of his brother, Dallas.
Dallas when?
Most probably due to acute appendicitis.
He might come back in the shower later on, though.
Do you think so? To honour Dallas, they named a members bar after him at the Ironworks. The Dallas Buyers Club.
1 hour later.
Don't get that.
It's a film, Neil.
Is it?
Won Oscars and that.
One other clue. Has it got boob content?
In the midst of all that hubbub, make a note of that, Neil. It's a good word. I want to use it in the future.
Hubbub or miss?
Hubbub. It's a good word to say, isn't it?
Not really.
What's all this hubbub? I think so.
Okay, you carry on then.
In the midst of all this jiggery-pokery...
It's better.
That's an even better word, isn't it? Make a note of that, write that down. Young Eben found time to become the US Amateur Golf Champion of 1906 after finishing runner-up in 1902 and 1903.
Oh. Well done you.
Eventually, he became the chairman of the Gerard Arne Company, and as well as a wealthy and successful industrialist and a champion golfer, he built quite the reputation as a frightful whoopsie.
Frightful whoopsie?
A ladies' man, a bachelor boy, a champagne-swigging, racehorse-owning socialite.
Right. So you used to put it about a bit then?
Yeah, I don't mean like a frightful whoopsie, as in...
I was thinking, you're guilty! That sort of frightful whoopsie.
Eben, going back to Eben Byers, he's a good. He travelled by private railway carriage and hung out with the Vanderbilts and members of other old money American families.
What's old money about, please?
Old money is people who've had money for a long time. So over here, because we're not America, we've been around since forever. Old money in this country would be your families that were dukes and duchesses and earls.
No, not like Roman coins and stuff like that then.
Ladies. No, these were in the royal family and people like that, people whose family have always had money and it gets passed down through the generations.
Oh, I get it now. Thank you. Thanks for the explanation.
Whereas industrialists and people like that were new money. So he was, in fact, really new money, but he was hanging out with the old money.
Right, okay, getting you now. Thank you.
Getting me there, yeah?
Thanks for the explanation.
It was all going swimmingly now.
Yeah?
Up until 1927, so just before but all this happened within half an hour. It was all going swimmingly until 1927 when Eben injured his arm falling from a rail car sleeping berth.
I thought he had his own little private cabin.
Well, he did, but he'd have to sleep in somehow in there. So he was climbing up into his sleeping berth there. For the persistent pain, a doctor suggested he take Radithor.
Oh, Radithor.
A medicine,
like a superhero.
The medicine manufactured by one William J.A.
WJB.
It does sound like a superhero, doesn't it? Radithor.
Yeah.
William J. Bailey was a Harvard University dropout who made false claims to be a doctor of medicine. He sounds trustworthy already, doesn't he?
He does sound trustworthy.
He had become rich from the sale of a solution he had concocted called Radithor.
Radithor.
A cure-all for everything from mental illness and headaches to diabetes, anemia, constipation, asthma, and other common ailments, like a dicky shoulder from falling out of a rail car sleeping berth.
Yeah, sounds like if you drink it, it kills you, so it would kill you, wouldn't it?
I imagine
or
that.
Anything.
Yeah, I think nowadays if someone said, yeah, it cures all that, yeah, right.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. Alarm bells! But back then, it was the latest thing. Because of how things work, and let's face it, still do, Bailey offered physicians a 1/6 kickback on each dose of his medicine they prescribed.
So just go in there and spoot them one?
Yes.
So if every time they sold a bottle, he'd walk in there and kick them?
Yes, I wonder why they carried on doing that, really. They got a kickback for every dose of they prescribed.
That makes sense.
Doesn't make sense at all, that, does it? But that's what it says here. Under medical instruction, Eben began taking multiple doses of Radithor every day, convinced that the drink had restorative powers and was a perfect cure for fatigue and pain. He said it gave him a toned-up feeling.
So it's a bit like our energy drinks nowadays, isn't it?
I don't know if it gave him a toned-up feeling. It's like Viagra. Don't know. Yeah, it could be. Could be like a monster.
Yeah.
Or something with a bit of Viagra in it.
Yeah. Cool idea. That'd be lethal, wouldn't it?
I had terrible sunburn once. And I went to the doctor and he prescribed me Viagra. And I said, will that help the sunburn? He said, no, but it'll keep the sheets off your legs.
Ha, 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 ha. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you, listener. Do you reckon our friends, Potter's Confectioners of Great Yarmouth, pottersconfectioners.co.uk, would sell Radithor? I think they're far too sensible.
I'd say they're far too sensible. I was looking at their website and the products they produce. I wouldn't have thought they'd be that sort of establishment.
Have you looked at their website now?
Yes, I have, yes.
And what did you think?
I think it looks very nice. The nougat or nugget looks very nice.
And what sort of produce did you spy?
The nugget. Didn't go for anything else. Straight to the nugget. It's not like you see in the bricks. It's like in a circle. There's swirls in it. It looks really nice. Different flavours.
Handmade chocolates?
No, I didn't look at handmade chocolates.
handmade chocolates. You didn't look at those.
No, I didn't know.
I might do that.
You do that.
Oh, well.
You dip your bread in gravy.
What if they give any kickbacks?
Probably would if you didn't pay.
Buy your nugget and they just whack you in the shin.
Mm.
So Eben obviously wasn't visiting Potter's Confectioners of Great Yarmouth. He still began taking multiple doses of Radithor every day, convinced that the drink had restorative powers. We've already discussed this, Neil.
Yes, we did, yes.
Stop going on about it, please. You're going to leave it there?
I'm not going on about it. You're going on about it. I didn't. You kept reading. You weren't reading it.
You're going to leave it?
You leave it.
He stopped taking it.
Sorry, what's that?
I don't know. I think there was some interference on the line.
Oh, could have been, yeah.
He stopped taking it in October 1930 after downing some 1,400 bottles of the stuff. A day? No, in total. In total.
Constantly having a wee-wee.
He would constantly be having a wee-wee, wouldn't he?
He would.
That many bottles. But this is, when did he start taking it, please? 1927. So in 3 years, he had taken 1,400 bottles in total.
Who counted them?
I imagine there's a big pile of them at the back, his back door.
It's his store it, so it's going to count them. Otherwise, who's going to guess? Is that just an estimate? Is that a finger in the air sort of thing? Or did he actually count every one of them?
Probably counted every one, because in those days you would have taken them back and got like a couple of cents or something back on your bottles. So he probably had a load that he was ready to
receipts.
Take back. Yeah. The problem is, Neil.
Yeah.
The problem went was that he had lost a lot of weight and was having persistent headaches.
Right.
So that's why he stopped taking Radithor.
Yeah. Radithor.
His teeth had begun to fall out too.
Yeah, it brought it away. I think it's full of sugar.
Thought I should mention that.
Dirty man.
Not important. I thought I should mention it. In 1931, the Federal Trade Commission asked him to testify about his experience with Radithor, but he'd become too sick to travel, so the commission sent a lawyer to take his statement at his home.
Wow.
When the lawyer arrived, he was told the good news that Eben no longer had to worry about losing any more teeth.
Because they're all gone?
Because his jaw had dropped off.
His jaw had dropped off?
Because his jaw had dropped off.
His jaw dropped off?
His jaw had dropped off. Also,
really?
His jaw had dropped off. Also, his brain was abscessed and holes were forming in his skull.
What? You know, like one of them things you get, you've got a squidgy ball with a net round it, and you squeeze it, and all the things go pop, 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 pop around the outside through the net.
The nice part was that on top of all that, all the remaining bone tissue in his body was disintegrating.
Oh, he did a good job on himself, didn't he?
He did, didn't he?
Yeah. Did you think it was that Radithor, or do you think he just probably not eating or just come down with an illness?
Do you reckon the lawyer sat at his sandwiches while he was talking to him? Sitting there with no jaw.
I would have thought so.
Tongue laying down, all these abscesses on his head.
He'd have to just keep his tongue moist.
Yeah.
Dry out, wouldn't it? It'd be flapping around your neck. We'll go out on a windy day, it'll smack you in the eye.
Surprisingly, Neil. Hello, Neil. Surprisingly, despite his good health, Eben died on March 31st, 1932, just a few days short of his 52nd birthday. Turns out that this miracle cure, Radithor, was radium dissolved in water in high concentration.
Radium. I've heard of that.
Alpha, beta, and gamma radiation. Alpha radiation has low penetrating ability and typically does not present a danger. But ingestion of radium, like for example in the form of 1,400 bottles of Radithor prescribed by your doctor, would allow for the accumulation of the stuff in your bones.
Surely he must have felt a bit off beforehand, before his jaw fell off.
Well, he did, didn't he? He was losing weight and his teeth were falling out.
Didn't he think to himself, well, do you know what, every time I've been drinking this Radithor stuff, I'm not feeling too bright. I think I might knock it on the head. Not have another 1,000-some-odd bottles and wait for your jaw to drop off.
He did eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
So as you imagine, he probably did feel all right until such times he felt a bit queasy.
This is a bit of a jaw dropper, this one, Steve. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's blowing my mind. Oh, Again, you're welcome.
So he said he was too sick to travel, and he lost a lot of weight, and his teeth were falling out.
And then his jaw fell off.
You wouldn't
be able to call for anybody, would you? Because you wouldn't be able to talk.
Is that your impression of someone with jaws falling off?
Well, you open your mouth and try and talk. It's like when you breathe out, or you can breathe and try and scream. Have you tried doing that?
The only person in the world who would have understood him would be dentists.
Yeah, probably.
Hello, where you going for your holidays? Oh, it's nice there this time of year. I'm a bit disappointed because if it had radiation, alpha, beta, and particularly gamma radiation, that his teeth fell out, his jaw fell off. He didn't turn into the Incredible Hulk, which I thought would be what happened.
Yeah.
Without any shielding that would ordinarily be provided by the skin.
Yeah.
That's the stuff on the outside.
Right, yeah. Stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now, yeah.
The highly ionizing alpha radiation was able to cause localized cell damage on an extreme level. And this is ultimately what led to Eben's extreme cancer and unpleasant death. By the time he was introduced to Radithor, the idea of radium as a health booster was widely accepted in the United States. So this wasn't an outlier. He was just the one that seemed to suffer it from it the most. He took more of it probably than anybody else.
Probably, yeah.
He could afford to. At the time when people were encouraged to take up smoking to cure asthma, people believed that the ingestion of radium could increase energy, relieve pain, and even slow down aging.
No.
It was a full-fledged industry built on bold claims and a complete lack of scientific oversight.
Oversight? It's not a scientific oversight. This bloke's a con man and got away with it.
Right in the middle was William J.A. Bailey's company, imaginatively titled Bailey's Business.
Yeah, nice name. Do you know, I'd trust that if anybody came in to somewhere like I'm selling some medication. Who is it? Oh, it's Bailey's Business. Oh,
sounds like
perfect.
He's left in the toilet, doesn't it? Oh, what's in there? Bailey's just come out of there. Oh, it's Bailey's Business. Come and clear it up. Bailey's Business had a promise of vitality in every bottle.
Really?
Advertisements for radium cures made false and misleading claims, and Bailey made millions from the sale of what he advertised as bottled perpetual sunshine.
Oh, it's a nice name for it, isn't it?
It is a nice name for something that's going to kill you horrendously.
Well, yeah. It says, yeah. Doesn't sound like a AK-47 because you know that's what it's going to do. That'll kill you.
It's probably not going to sell many of them if he called it bottled jaw dissolver, is he?
No, not really.
Perpetual sunshine sounds much better.
Yeah.
Eben's case became one of the most infamous examples of the consequences of the radium craze.
Right.
It sparked America's first regulations on radioactive remedies and transformed public health forever.
So the radium craze, was that similar to our craze, Ronnie and Reggie?
No, not the Ronnie and Reggie craze.
Right.
This is the radium craze. As in, remember the Rubik's Cube?
Yeah.
That was a craze, wasn't it, that went on? And Tamagotchi, that was a craze that went on. And hula hoops, that was a craze that went on.
Yeah, they still get them.
What?
Hula hoops.
Yes, you can. Are you talking potato snacks, or are you talking the plastic rings that fit around one's waist so when you gyrate?
I don't know about the plastic rings fit around your waist. So I just talk about the potato snacks.
The potato snacks.
Yeah,
yes,
cheese and onion one's best.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. I don't know whether our listeners abroad can get
hula hoops. But my fingers are getting too big to stick them on the end of my fingers. I can only get them on my little finger now.
I wonder if Potter's Confectionates of Great Yarmouth sell hula hoops. Of the potato snack variety.
They might do a kettle chip version of them.
If you were to go to Great Yarmouth, you'd find plenty of retailers selling the plastic hula hoops to fit round one's waist to gyrate inside and keep spinning.
I would have thought so.
I'd have thought so. After his death, this is Eben Byers.
Yeah.
Eben McBurney Byers. The Federal Trade Commission issued a cease and desist order against Bailey's Business.
Right.
For false and misleading advertising. The Trade Commission issued an order banning the sale of Radithor.
False advertising, just slightly.
Yeah, just a bit, isn't it? Like I say, drink Radithor and your jaw will hit the floor.
Yeah.
The US government cracked down on toxic consumer products.
Well, that's nice of them.
Which is hard to believe if I've been to America and sampled some of their stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And institutions like the Radium Institute led research into gamma radiation, alpha radiation, and their low penetrating ability. So that then must have been the point where Dr. Bruce Banner was turned into the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, I thought so.
When they were doing these tests.
Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, got to be in it.
You'd have
Perhaps
thought
the
so.
spider got hold of it then, and that's where Spider-Man came from as well, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, perhaps the spider had creeped in when Dr. Banner was doing his gamma tests.
Yeah.
Yes, this must be where all this came from.
Hmm.
So Eben Byers is the OG of Marvel superheroes.
So she's wearing an eye patch.
For the listener who's only listening and cannot see what's going on, Neil has just mimed an eye patch rather effectively. It's very good, that, Neil. Yeah, I thought it was very good.
Could have done that.
You could have done that as well.
Better.
The other one was better.
It was better, because it was.
To me, that brought home eye patch.
Yeah, I know. You'll be getting one in a minute if you're not careful.
An eye patch?
Well, you've been in need of one.
I see. Well, you went to muck that up, really, didn't you?
I'm going to jab in the eye.
You mucked that up, didn't you? Today, Neil.
Yeah.
Today. That's not yesterday or tomorrow, but today.
Yes.
The life of Eben Byers serves as a warning about unchecked consumer products.
I should imagine it does.
It does, rather.
Well, that's what we've got trading standards for and stuff like that, isn't it?
I know people say it's health and safety gone mad, but sometimes you need health and safety.
Yes, because you don't want to have a drink and then your jaw drops off.
No, but it is business, and its misleading claims show how unregulated pseudoscience can have devastating effects.
Yes, I was about to say that myself.
I'm a bit cross about unregulated pseudoscience.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because they have devastating effects. If only there was some example we could put forward to people.
What about the bloke whose jaw just dropped off?
Oh, that's a good idea. I'm glad you're here now. As a final aside, Neil, William J.A died of cancer on May the 17th, 1949, as a rich man. When his body was exhumed nearly 20 years later, it was found to be ravaged by radiation.
Oh, it was going to be pickled or something.
As for Eben Byers, he had to be buried in concrete so the radiation couldn't leak out and damage the land. So he was his own little private Chernobyl, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, wasn't he? That's a jaw dropper again.
That's another one he should have put on the Radithor bottle.
Yeah.
Drink this perpetual sunshine and Chernobyl fall off.
Yes.
You nearly laughed then, Neil.
Rude.
So there you go, listener. That's a rather gruesome episode about Ebenezer Byers, Ebenezer McBurney Byers, Eben Byers.
Burnt from the inside out. US
amateur golf champion to US amateur dissolving champion in the space of 30 years.
Literally fell apart.
Just shows no matter how much money you've got, you can be dissolved in a bottle of radium.
Yeah, having a silly drink.
That your doctor's prescribed to you.
Made me feel a bit funny about that one I had this morning.
Not a very nice way to go, was it, listener? But thank you for sticking with us all the way through that rather gruesome episode. I'm going to say gruesome because I think it was. It
was definitely a jaw dropper.
It was a gruesome episode, and Neil's going to milk that joke to death now.
I'm also going to... No, I was trying to say it.
No, go on.
No, it just sounds wrong if I said I'm going to milk you to death. That sounds really bad.
No, I think we'll cut that out.
Yeah.
So, thank you, listener, for listening to us again and putting up with this bull. We will be back again next week for another episode of...
Honourable...
That was his jaw dropping off halfway through.
Honourable mentions at honourablementionspod@gmail.com. Honourable mentions pod on all your social medias, please.
Yes, please remember to like and subscribe. We will see you soon, listener, for another episode. In the meantime, stay safe, stay away from perpetual sunshine in the bottle, and... we will speak to you soon on...
Honourable Mentions.
Bye.
Taro. Ta-da. Bye. Bye. Love you. You hang up.
The Roaring Twenties, hey, the Charleston, jazz music, flapper girls, gangsters, speakeasies, the birth of talking pictures, and of course, radioactive beverages freely available from your doctor. They were the days. But for all the fun we thought we were having, what we didn't realize back then was that we were living in dark times in the years before Honorable Mentions, the Hilarious History Podcast. If we knew, we would have all liked, subscribed, shared, and left a 5-star review. It's important you do that because that's how other people get to hear. And it's just not fair to deny anyone this cultural phenomenon, don't you think? You can also follow on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and you can even email the boys directly at honorablementionspod@gmail.com. Honorable, the good old English way, mind, with a U. Did you know that they actually researched this stuff? Seriously, Stephen Webb does that, although overall it's an Uncover Brothers production. And I'm pleased to see that the kings of the jazz age speakeasies are still going strong. The hours I lost dancing and drinking to Pepe and the Bandits, you would not believe. They wrote and performed the theme tune, and you can hear more of their compositions wherever you stream your music. I highly recommend you do because those cats can swing. As for Steve and Neil, they'll see you next week with some really special guests. Do not miss it.